Hey everyone, I hope that we are live now. I hope I'm on time today. Right, let me just see what's going on this side. Right, okay, ladies, I hope that you had a good day so far, everything going good and such and such. And let's see, we are on day 3 today. So let me just get my notes here, my secret notes, my stashy notes. Right. Okay. So, ladies, I hope you can see this. This is the 7-day keto meal plan. So, this is under the guide section. Okay. So, it's there for you for free. It's 7 days and the food is delicious. Right. So, on day 1, look at that. Look at the steak. I mean, you can chop and change. You can do a fillet. You can do a rump. You can do whatever you want. Savory tarts for breakfast. Look at this. There was someone actually commenting and saying, oh, I just love fruit. I've got a problem with fruit. Obviously carbs, but we do have fruits and berries that are not so high in carbs. A lovely chicken rotisserie. Okay, and look, taco shells, yummy, but too high. So all of this, guys, is absolutely free. I also worked out the carbs. So if you eat this, you'll be in nutritional ketosis, everything. So, oh, yum. Who doesn't like a delicious omelette in the morning? I hope I've got people who like eggs because, oof, and then some chicken kebabs. I mean, all around, does that look to you like a starvation diet? Because to me, that looks good. Okay, I'm biased. I wrote the thing. Anyways, and then some additional recipes like your mayo, a delicious vinaigrette, and a shopping list, a delicious bone broth, which is very, very good. Also, anti-aging properties, absolutely brilliant. So, and the shopping list you can, but anyways, I've got a shopping list with all the what you need to buy, so you don't even need to do that. So, ladies, no more excuses. Go get it. It's there. You can download it, go print it, and just get some delicious food. And also, if you like one day, just repeat it, for a whole month. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But go get the meal plan. It's delicious. I'm very proud of it. And yeah, suggestions are always welcome. Right. So let us continue. Um, Right, so please download that. And at the end, I'm just going to show you my chicken recipe book, 51 delicious keto recipes for chicken. It's delicious. I'll show you the pictures so you can just see what's going on. Nutritional ketosis is not boring at all. It's delicious. So I don't want that to hold you back at all. Okay. Just trust me on this one. Right, so now we're going to jump in. I'm just going to change the layout over here. Right, so let me just get my ducks in a row and let us get started. Let me just check on this side. Right. Okay, so let me just get my PowerPoint thingy up. There we go. So trust me, a ketogenic diet can instantly change your health and weight. The mystery of losing weight and gaining control of your health vanishes. And suddenly you will be feeling healthy, shedding pounds daily, and regaining your lust for life. Losing weight can be fun when results are consistently good. You get results and you feel ecstatic. And the problems keeping you up at night become few and far between. But you got to find the right and effective keto diet that will bring real life results, not some program that costs an arm and a leg, but leads you down a rocky road of disaster with no tangible results. One size fits all does not work. You are unique. That's very important. You are you. So if you take your sister or your brother or your mom or your kid, you're different. Your height, age, gender, activity levels, like the one likes to laze around, the other one wants to be active, weight, your goals might be different. Personally, I wouldn't attempt just any keto diet without having a proven step-by-step guide to follow, and this is especially true if you want to save time, money, and frustration. And I mean it. My meal plans will get you in the right direction. You will know exactly how many carbs, protein, and fat you should be eating daily. And that is where most people fail dismally on a keto diet because they get their macronutrient ratios completely wrong and sadly throw in the towel. I know it sucks to struggle to lose weight and correct your health, but pure bliss when you do succeed. So you will get your unique ratio. All you need to do is pair it with your tailored meal plan, and you are good to go. So, what this is not some quick, scammy weight loss system that will have you cracking pills and hoping for the best. Unrealistic starvation diet plan, and all you can think of is food. A fad diet leaving you disappointed. You give up, and eventually you're stuck with more weight to shake, desperately looking for the next best thing. An unrealistic diet which claims you will lose 15 pounds a week. Why people fall for that just does not make sense. But it's probably the hope factor, wouldn't you agree? This is not a high protein diet, a liquid diet. So let's get started. The Keto Fast Start Guide. Now, the information in my Uber Keto diet is worth a fortune to you. All you need to do is apply the magic. The oldest secret to weight loss is simple, really. Just go back to the days when people were lean and healthy. Because at the current rate, people are overweight to obese, really sick, and frankly, it scares the living daylights out of me. What's wrong? Where will this all end? However, this eludes so many people. What this is a keto diet that is realistic and backed by scientific evidence. Delicious and nutritious meals that will get you satiated. No hunger pains. A plan that has been working for thousands of years. You will be eating your fat away. Doesn't that sound awesome? You only need to apply the keto magic. However, before we move forward, I need you to promise me something. I'm not joking around here either. You may think that you can simply skip this promise without consequences because, as you know, I'm not the in person to make sure you do it, right? But as you will discover, there are worse things than to fear my wrath. Right. Failure. Failure. Here's the simple promise I want from you. I'm about to reveal to you the keys to your weight loss. This diet will change your life in ways you can only dream about. I'm asking you right now, promise that you will at least commit to this plan for 30 days. Right. Do it. Say the words out loud. Make the promise. I will at least try it for 30 days. Even if you only follow the 7-day keto meal plan, just try it. Have you done it? I hope so. I really do. I want to help you attain the body you want, to reverse your diabetes, smiling at yourself when you look in the mirror, breaking free of the prison you are in. Let's get moving, all right? So eat what you are designed to eat. What do all mammals on earth not eat the same foods? Like each species can only eat for which it is genetically programmed. Thus, each species has a specific gut bacteria flora. Now, humans, meat, chimpanzees, plants, and fruits. Gorillas eat plants, right? The function of the large intestine of the primates is to host the bacteria that generate saturated fat from anaerobic fermentation of carbs, so that's cellulose, and to incorporate proteins derived from the cells' bodies of the same bacteria. Now, let's have a look at this. So, here's the stomach, small intestine, the cecum, and the colon. So as you can see, we humans have our small intestine, if you can see over here, and then our colon. Now, if we have a look at the chimpanzee, look at the small intestine, right? And over here, the colon is like much bigger. So you see, and the what was the other one? The chimpanzee. Yes. Okay, so let's just go back. So let me just show you. No, I'm not going back. I'm actually going forward, right? So The chimpanzees, they eat plants and fruits, but the gorillas, they only eat plants, right? So yeah, you can see that you were designed that way. Your intestine and your colon were designed for optimum absorption. So we were created quite well. So, way back in time, what did our ancestors eat? They were healthy and lean. Yes, true, they didn't live very long, but hey, out in the wild with bears, lions, extreme weather, no proper housing, and no one to help in emergencies like ambulances and hospital 911, like we have these days, what's to be expected? Anyhow, their diet certainly didn't include highly processed foods, sugar, low fat and diet products, artificial sweetness, high omega 6 vegetable and seed oils, trans fats. Now, all of these, I mean, are actually designed, they are made, they are not found naturally in a forest. You can't go around in a forest and pick sugar, in its processed form. Doesn't work that way. Gluten. And I mean, if you think about wheat, it has been hybridized to that level where the gluten makes the dough so stretchy so they can make pizzas that the bread can raise very well. Back in the day, they had einkorn, and that wasn't like stretchy, and yeast kind of didn't make it go up. So it's a whole different ball game. It was hybridized. So look at the list. These foods are certainly not found in nature. They are manufactured. And believe me, we are not designed to eat these foods. Unfortunately, in the last 50 years, things have gotten even worse. 80% of food sold in grocery stores contain sugar. And we did discuss how addictive sugar is. So listen, out of all the mammals on earth, we humans are the only ones suffering from obesity, chronic illness, and bad health. Why is this? Because we are the only mammals who are clever enough to manufacture our food and dumb enough to eat it. Now, let's be honest, our genetics haven't changed. However, our food has. We haven't adapted to this nonsense sold to us by food corporations. Food corporations have tinkered with our food to the extent that the labels are written with ingredient names we can't even pronounce, let alone understand. And these hidden ingredients, such as sugar, are the reason that people gain weight and get sick. But maybe even worse is people really try to eat healthy, but cannot win the war because they are being lied to. It's not their fault. For example, people who want to lose weight will opt for low fat or fat free foods like low fat yogurt. They buy this and eat it thinking that they're going to doing themselves and their weight loss efforts a favor. But check the label. Indeed, the fat content is lower, but to make the yogurt tasty, the food corporations add sugar. The high sugar content will certainly not help with your weight loss, but hey, it's good because there is no fat in it. Not true, because the fat they take out, your body craves. Our ancestors also never ate low fat or fat free products. Unfortunately, the world was gripped by fear of fat after 1977 and things got out of hand. Fact is, your body needs good quality saturated fats. But since 1977, the US dietary guidelines have changed. Fat was abolished and replaced with carbs. So now every meal is planned around carbs, and this is making people gain weight. Our ancestors did not eat large amounts of carbs like people do now. It is a fact that since diets extremely high in carbs were introduced in 1977, health has started to fail on a global scale. So let's have a look at the ancestors versus modern guidelines. I mean, have a look at this. Here we've got fats and oils, and I mean, you don't need a lot. Then we've got our meat, poultry, and seafood. Then we've got our cheese and eggs, our salads and vegetables, and our berries and nuts. And on this side, it's just carbs, 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 carbs. I mean, okay, there we've got a little bit of protein, but it has to be lean, guys. And then we've got a little bit of milk and I don't know, and eggs and healthy fats. You see what I'm saying? It's been turned upside down. The modern food pyramid looks all right, but trust me, there is nothing good about it. As you can see, what actually worked for our ancestors was turned upside down, and the new guidelines, which have been used for the last 50 years, have caused outrageous obesity rates as well as sick people. It is time that we set things straight again and relieve ourselves from the fear of fat. Kick carbs in the behind and start to eat real food. To rid yourself of this deception, you need to change. We need to get out of our own way so you can lose the pounds and feel healthy again. Why do carbs and sugar make us fat? In a nutshell, let's have a look at a typical healthy breakfast all the gurus and dietitians would want you to eat. So we've got the low fat yogurt, 4 teaspoons of sugar, fruit salad, 2 teaspoons, muesli, 6 teaspoons, orange juice, 4 teaspoons. So that already by itself, 16 teaspoons of sugar. And that's just the morning for the morning meal. I mean, that's ridiculous. And think about it. We give the stuff to our kids. I mean, muesli, I always thought it was so healthy, with the cranberries and raisins and all. But you just do yourself a favor and go have a look at all the ingredients in muesli. Right, when you eat carbs such as sugar and let's say pasta, they will be broken down to simple sugar, glucose. The glucose is absorbed in your blood and your blood glucose levels will rise. Now your pancreas will secrete the fat storing hormone insulin. Because we eat so many carbs, insulin production will be high and insulin prevents fat burning. Now, after a few hours, your blood glucose levels drop again and you want to eat again. Also, remember, sugar is just as addictive as cocaine, so we crave more of the stuff. This then is a lethal cycle that will have you gaining weight quicker than you can say Jack Robinson. You want to keep blood insulin and glucose concentration low because, as you know, high insulin concentrations are linked to health problems and weight gain. You want to remain in the fat burning zone. So how will your body burn fat? So I'm just going to change this over here and play you this video. Let me just get this one over here. Oh, I'm back. There we go. There we go. So I hope it. In this video, we will be discussing how your body burns fat. Now, only 2% of Americans are successful at burning weight and achieving their weight loss goals. The average female will spend 17 years of her life dieting. How to burn fat eludes so many people, but let me show you how you can be successful at it. And trust me, it's not that hard. Your body has 3 fuel sources. The first one would be fat. And an enzyme called lipase will break down your fat and form ketones. Now, these ketones are used by your body and by your brain as a fuel source, no problem. These ketones are a byproduct of fat metabolism. So your body can survive on these ketones. The second fuel source is stored sugar, which will be found in your liver and in your muscle. Now, the third one is your muscle. This would happen, then your body will break down the protein in your muscles, which will be converted to glucose. And this will lead to muscle loss. But this will only happen if your body's in starvation or you are very ill. So we'll be focusing on fat and stored sugar. Now, what determines whether you are burning fat or sugar? Most people are burning glucose or sugar, also known as carbs, for fuel and not fat. The hormone insulin is the determining factor. Will you burn sugar or fat? Insulin is produced by your pancreas and is a fat-storing hormone. Even in small amounts, insulin has the ability to prevent you from using fat as fuel. Sugar, carbs, glucose triggers insulin. So now we know fat-storing hormone equals insulin, and that is what we don't want. Now here's a little graph. Let's say I drink a can of cola. Now the glucose come into your bloodstream and your insulin will spike. And as I said, if there's insulin, there will be no fat burning. But now some people always jabber on about everything in moderation. No diet works, only moderation works. So now I decide, okay, tomorrow I'll have half a can of cola. But still, there will be insulin. So that means no fat burning. We want this insulin to not be there because we want our body to be burning fat. So if insulin is present, then you are in a carb burning mode, not in a fat burning mode. Right, let's continue. So this is the average American person following the American dietary guidelines. So they consume carbs and mostly excess protein, and these get broken down by your body into glucose. Now, glucose is needed to make ATP, that's an energy molecule. Now, the average female needs 2,000 calories and male needs 2,500 calories a day. In most cases, people will exceed this calorific need per day, and there will be excess glucose, which is not used for energy. Now, what will your body be doing with this remaining glucose? There are two things that can happen to glucose if your body doesn't use it for energy. The first one is glycogenesis, and the second one is lipogenesis. Glycogenesis is if excess glucose will be converted to glycogen, and the glycogen will be stored in your liver and in your muscle. However, only about half of your daily energy can be stored as glycogen. Now, lipogenesis will kick in. The moment your liver and muscle cannot store any more glycogen, the extra glucose will be converted to fat, and that's something that we don't want. So this is what your plate should look like according to the American dietary guidelines. Now you've got fruits, you've got vegetables and grains, as well as dairy, and those are all carbs. Let's be honest, and with the normal person, the protein will be excessive, and that will be converted to glucose. So to me, this is an explosion of carbs on your plate. And this will spike your insulin, and if your insulin spikes, you will not be burning any fat. Is it any wonder that we've got problems? Now let's get back to the three fuel sources. Now the stored sugar goes back to fat, so we're stuck with the fat. But now I mentioned previously that we want to discuss these ketones. How do we use these ketones, and what is this? This is called ketosis, but how does ketosis work? Now your liver will break down your fat cells and will break it down into fatty acids and glycerol. Now the fatty acids through ketogenesis will create acetoacetate, and those are ketones. Now they get broken down into acetone. This can sometimes be metabolized into glucose, so your body will always have glucose. However, in most cases, it will be excreted as waste in the form of urine or breath. Now, the beta hydroxybutyrate, that's BHB, if you are keto adapted for some time, so you've been running on ketones for a while, your muscle will convert the acetoacetate into BHB. Your brain prefers this as fuel. Your brain shifts from being primarily dependent on glucose to being primarily dependent on BHB. Now on the other side, we've got the glycerol. Now through gluconeogenesis, glucose is formed. So for your body to maintain good health, it needs small amounts of glucose. However, carbs aren't needed. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to have any carbs. We will be having carbs, but good carbs. Your liver will make sure you have enough glucose in your bloodstream for your body to be healthy. Now, the big question, how do you get your body to use these ketones? Ketosis happens when your body has no more glucose or glycogen to use as fuel. When you avoid sugar, restrict your carbs, and consume moderate protein, the levels of sugar in your blood begin to stabilize, and your need for insulin to remove the sugar from your blood decreases. Ketosis is a state of starvation, where the body runs out of glucose in the blood and glycogen to turn into glucose in the liver and muscle. The only alternative is to burn ketones for fuel, so your fat stores.
Now, using ketones is 70% more efficient than using glucose. Studies have proven that the body and brain actually prefer using ketones. And this is called nutritional ketosis, and should please don't confuse it with diabetic ketoacidosis. That is something totally different. Now, just to conclude, we want to move from carb burning to fat burning. So remember, fat is insulin neutral. Fat will never spike your insulin. And if you eat moderate protein, there won't be any problems either. But carbs are problematic. But as you'll see in the diet, it's not so difficult. So the fat you will be eating now will be handled quite differently. You will burn the fat that you eat, and the remainder of energy needed will be taken from stored fat. There will be no fat storage like when you eat a high carb diet. So eating fats will help you burn fat because it revs up the enzyme that burns fat. So there you go. We want to go from carb burning to fat burning, and it's not that difficult. So please continue with the fast start guide and enjoy. Continue with the fast start guide and enjoy.
Right, so we're back. The video's done, so let's move on to the presentation again. There we go. Right, so I hope that you understand now how your body will burn fats. Right, so you should eat meat, all types, beef, chicken, pork, game. If possible, get organic or grass-fed. Eat the fat with the meat. For example, eat the chicken skin as well. Now, I'm not saying eat chunks of meat, but obviously in the protein, if you can get a piece that maybe is marbled, that's always a good option. So fish and shellfish, salmon, trout, haddock, mackerel, herring. If possible, wild caught fish will be best. Eggs, organic or free range. You can have these any way you want. Vegetable, as a rule of thumb, the vegetables that grow above the ground are best. And fruits, limit your fruits to a handful every now and again. Eat the whole fruit because you want the fiber, and also check the glycemic index. Give it a try with a dash of full fat cream. This should be a special treat instead of candy. Nuts and seeds for a snack or in food, but keep in moderation. So, high fat, dairy, organic would be best, or hormone free. Choose full fat butter, cream, sour cream, yogurt, cheese. No low fat or fat free allowed. So, your fats, butter, lard, olive oil, coconut oil, cream. So, most people just love chocolate. 70% cacao and above can be used every now and again, not every day though. So, never eat sugar. Fruit juices are bad. Gluten grains like wheat, avoid them. Trans fats, artificial sweeteners, low fat and diet products, processed foods, high omega 6 vegetable oils and seed oils. So, what is ketosis? Ketosis is a metabolic state which occurs when you eat a very low carb, moderate protein, and high fat diet. Ketosis causes your body to switch from using glucose, carbs, as its primary source of fuel to running on ketones. So, ketones are produced when the body burns fat, and they're primarily used as an alternative fuel source when glucose isn't available. So, the keto diet is named after ketone bodies, which are water soluble molecules that circulate in the body when fat is broken down. When you limit your carb intake, your body is forced to burn fat stores, including fat in your food. In essence, your body will become a fat burner instead of a sugar or carb burner. So, in simple terms, if your body is in ketosis, you are burning fat. So, the keto food pyramid, right? This one, at the bottom, we've got the fats, and then we've got the proteins, and then we've got the carbs. So, we focus on the fats, but obviously, the fat will be much more dense, so it will be a smaller piece on your plate, and then your protein and your carbs. So, how many grams of carbs should I be eating? A keto diet typically allows for 25 grams of total carbs per day. Total carbs include all the carbs in the calculation. Net carbs do not include the fiber or sugar alcohols in the calculation. So we use total carbs because some people absorb fiber and sugar alcohols, which may interfere with glucose in ketone metabolism. So think about it. I mean, if you're going to do ketosis, do it right. Otherwise, like I said, the fiber and the sugar alcohols, they can interfere with some people. So, be safe. And then if you reached your goal, you can always add in a little bit of carbs until you get your carb tolerance. Now, each person is different. One person can have up to 100 grams total carbs a day, and then some people around 45. So this will be a total individual thing. So you need to now start to learn to know yourself, your body. What is the difference between total carbs and net carbs? So, net carbs do not include the fiber and sugar alcohols, whereas total carbs include fiber and sugar alcohols. So, here we've got a little graph, the total carbs minus the dietary fiber minus the sugar alcohols. Those are the net carbs. But remember, we're doing the total carbs. And don't worry, if you see how many 25 grams of carbs, it's quite a lot. Right. How do I give up my carbohydrates and sugar? A keto diet can be delicious and filling. After a few days, you will stop having any cravings. Amazingly, your taste buds adjust and your food tastes more flavorsome and sweeter. What should my macronutrient ratio be? So 65 to 80% fat, 20 to 25% protein, and 5% carbs. Won't eating so much fat cause me to gain weight? Fortunately, not. Butter, yummy, is your friend. If you eat under 25 grams of carbs per day, your body will become fat adapted. You will be a fat burner and not a sugar or carb burner. So basically, is you've got your nice piece of protein and you've got your carbs, right? So what, as a rule of thumb, you would then like put in like some melted butter or have some olive oil on your salad or whatnot, and then that kind of like fills you. So if you feel satiated, it's also very important to listen to your body. If you feel satiated, just stop eating. And you know what, say now you don't feel like eating lunch or whatnot, don't eat. It's as simple as that. But I think we kind of, it's such a habit eating 6 times a day or 3 times a day that we just do it. Sometimes I'm just not hungry, then I just don't eat. What do I have to eat? Why do I have to eat more dietary fat on a keto diet if I have plenty of fat on my body to burn as fuel? That is a good question. So Dr. Bill Wilson answered this very well. Insulin resistance increases glucose and insulin levels, trapping fat within fat cells, so it can't be released for energy. People with insulin resistance already have excessive body fat. Because of their high insulin levels, this fat isn't readily available for energy production. This pushes the body and brain to rely almost solely on glucose for energy, and this is clearly not a healthy metabolic state. Think of this as your body and brain on a Twinkie, not a pretty metabolic picture. So there, he really makes it very, very clear. So your body can't tap into those fat reserves. Right. Is this a high protein diet like Atkins? Well, if you have a look at the keto diet, no, it's moderate protein. And in the absence of carbs, your body converts excess protein into glucose. So you don't want too much. Won't I lose muscle if I reduce my protein intake? Absolutely not. A keto diet is a muscle sparing diet because your body uses fat for fuel. It will therefore not break down muscle for energy. How much water should I be drinking? You should drink at least half of your body weight in ounces of water each day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, then you should have half of that in ounces, which should be 75 ounces of water per day. Now, I actually realized I didn't put the milliliters or liters for my South African friends, so I'll have to do that, right? So then we have something in our bodies. We have a system called oxidative priority. So, when you have enjoyed a delicious meal and perhaps a few glasses of wine, your body has to protect itself. It has to protect itself from high blood sugar. Too much fat in the blood, hypertriglyceridemia, and from alcohol that was consumed, alcohol toxicity. Luckily, your body is one smart cookie, and this is where oxidative priority has to kick in for survival. So, oxidative priority, this is what happens during oxidative priority. Your body will burn off the alcohol first because there is no storing capacity for it. Then any exogenous ketones like ketone supplements will be dealt with because they can only be stored in the blood. So that's why I always say these exogenous ketones stay away. Thirdly, carbs will be taken care of because the storage capacity for carbs is minimal. Carbs are turned into glucose. The glucose will be converted into glycogen, which will either be stored in the liver or muscle. However, if they are full, the glycogen will ultimately be stored as fat. Then, fourth in line, we have protein, which is turned into amino acids and used to build muscle and tissue. Last but not least, fat. Fat is the easiest to store, and the storage capacity is unlimited. And also, just remember, let me just finish. As you can see, because there's no storage capacity for alcohol, your body has to get rid of it first. It will consequently store carbs and fat in the fat cells. And because fat cells have an unlimited storage capacity, this will lead to weight gain. So here's a little graph which you can have a look at. So basically, your body just goes into halt mode until that alcohol has been dissipated in your body because it can't store it. It sees it as a toxic. So yeah, that's quite interesting, I thought always. So can I drink alcohol? So your body burns alcohol before it burns fat. It would be best to avoid alcohol until you are keto adapted. So it's just for a little while. Yeah, we need to be strong. So should I have a cheat day? Absolutely no. Why, you might ask? Well, after cheating, your body will take 2 to 3 days to get back into fat burning, into ketosis. So this will hamper your efforts. It's just not worth it. What if any are the side effects? Most people do not experience any side effects. However, some people get the carb flu, which includes sugar cravings, flu like symptoms, headaches, and dizziness. Most people also have no long term side effects, but some people experience constipation, muscle cramps. However, these are easily corrected. So, how long does it take to become keto adapted? Every person is totally different, but the moment you start, if you follow a proper keto diet, it can be as little as a few days, but some people take weeks or sometimes months, but not really months. Um, I mean, if you start eating healthily, your body will immediately start to react and kickstart the healing process. So, testing for ketones. There are 3 types of ketone bodies that are found inside the body: acetoacetate, primary ketone body in the urine, acetone, that's in your breath, and then beta hydroxybutyrate, that's your primary ketone body in the blood. So, as you can see, there are 3 ways to determine the presence of ketones. So, your urine and keto sticks. So, these are traditional methods for measuring ketones. So, you test your acetoacetate level in your urine. And ketone strips are very easy to use. All you have to do is hold the stick in your urine stream for several seconds. And after 15 seconds, you should notice that the color has changed on the strip. And so beige means no ketones, pink some ketones, purple many ketones. So, but mostly on the bottles, you can buy them easily on Amazon, take a lot pharmacies, but they do have the color coding over there. So these keto strips will determine whether you are in ketosis or not. However, they are not very accurate and don't give you your exact ketone level. So the upside is that they are readily available and inexpensive. For all intents and purposes, as a beginner, it is a great way to determine if you are on the right track. So when you are new to a keto diet, you should notice a dark purple color. On the other hand, if you've been on a keto diet for a few months, the results may be a much lighter color and give people a false negative. So this is not necessarily bad because your body is much more efficient at creating ketones to fuel your body. So for a beginner, it's great because I mean, if you like 6 months into this, I reckon you won't be still using the urine or the keto sticks. So breath meters. So technology has its advantages, and a breath meter is much easier to use. All you have to do is blow into it. It's like the alcohol measuring machines, and it will give you a reading. The breath meter measures the levels of acetone. So the breath meter is more accurate than the ketone strips, but not as good as a blood meter. So there are different breath meters out there, and they retail between $150 to $200. So they are a bit expensive. And then we have our blood meters. So blood meters are the most accurate. You have to prick your finger and put the blood on a strip to get the reading. The results are real time and show the exact measurement of ketones in your blood. So keto reading should be between 1 and 3 millimole per liter. The blood meter is excellent. However, the keto strips can become expensive as they retail at around $1 each. And I mean, we all know that with our glucometers, the machine is the cheap part, but buying the strips is the most expensive part. But what I usually do is I just buy a new meter and then you get the free, um, what do you call them? The strips. But, anyways, yeah. So sometimes it can be difficult, expensive, but check with your medical aid. So, what is the difference between nutritional ketosis and ketoacidosis? When type 1 diabetics don't have the correct amount of insulin, the body reacts as if the person were in a state of starvation. So the body assumes there's no glucose from either diet or glycogen stores in the liver and muscle. As a result, the body then switches to fat burning, which results in ketone levels going up because your body wants to use this as an alternative fuel source. However, the type 1 diabetic does have glucose. As a matter of fact, the glucose levels are high. The hormone that allows glucose in the cell, namely insulin, is absent. Therefore, blood sugar will accumulate in the bloodstream while ketone production continues. When blood ketone beta hydroxybutyrate approaches 20 millimole per liter and blood sugar rises to 250 milligrams per deciliter, a type 1 diabetic patient may potentially fall into a coma. This can be life-threatening. So obviously, type 2 diabetes, it's very safe to go into nutritional ketosis. So, nutritional ketosis occurs when your body cannot burn glucose, sugar, for fuel because your body is depleted of glucose. As an alternative, your body will use stored fat and break it down into ketones and glycerol. Through the process of lipolysis, your fat cells will be broken down into fatty acids. In turn, these fatty acids enter the bloodstream and are transported to the liver. The liver will break down the fatty acids and produce ketones, which are used to fuel your body. Don't you think it's just an awesome system? I mean, I think it was 5, 6 years back only did they find out about the hormone leptin, which tells you when you've had enough to eat. And you also get people who are leptin resistant. But 5, 6, 7 years back, they only found out about that hormone. And I mean, your whole body is regulated by hormones. And that's actually a scary thought because your body is such an intelligent being thing. I don't know. It's just amazing. And yeah, I mean, a ketogenic diet with that, it's just natural. So, who cannot follow a keto diet? Obviously, ketosis may not be appropriate for some type 1 diabetics. Otherwise, we have not observed any complications with this dietary approach. Right, so that was Dr. David Perlmutter. If you are type 1 diabetic, please consult a doctor before going on a ketogenic diet. So, type 2 diabetics will have to adjust their medication. And yeah, diabetes is reversible. So, what is the keto flu? Everyone is so scared of the keto flu. If you've got a husband and kids who are sick, that's worse than the keto flu, let me tell you. So it's often referred to as a side effect when you start your keto diet and you begin entering ketosis. That's the bad news. The great news is that it doesn't last long and not every person experiences these symptoms. And I think sometimes they are certainly over exaggerated. I think it's the men who go into keto flu. They're like, oh, it's so bad. Oh, no. But we women, we are tough. We can do this. So basically, keto flu is caused by the body's response to carbohydrate restriction. So one of the side effects are like bad breath, frequent urination, dizziness, fatigue, blood sugar dips, constipation, carb cravings, muscle pain, headaches, diarrhea and gas, dizziness, brain fog, irritability, poor focus and concentration, nausea, cramping, and insomnia. So it's not too bad and it's not going to last very long. And if you just have that vision, like we talked about in the VIP section, that vision, that will get you through anything, right? So be assured you will, certainly not experience all of these symptoms. So each person is different and the severity and length will differ from one person to the next. But don't just throw in the towel, just muster on. So does it mean if you experience intense cravings for sugar? A lot of you ladies have said that you can't stop eating the sweet somethings in the evening and you've got cravings and such and such. So, surprise, surprise, the simple answer is that you don't really want carbs, but dietary fat. Isn't that interesting? So, next time the urge strikes, eat a high fat snack like cheese, olives, and butter and see what happens. It's quite interesting. And why do I overeat? The idea that the kind of calories you eat matters immensely is something Temple University School of Medicine researcher Dr. Bowden observed in a study published in the March of 2005, the Annals of Internal Medicine, the Annals, oh my goodness. Dr. Bowden concluded that excessive overeating had been fueled by carbs. Carbs increase insulin levels, which leads to the desire to eat more and more calories. But ketogenic dieters make fat and protein their primary food intake, and hunger is well under control. This doesn't occur by accident. I mean, there you go, in a nutshell. Now you know why people overeat. Water. The moment you start restricting your carbs, you limit the release of insulin. Essentially, insulin transports sugar to the fat cells. However, insulin also prompts the kidneys to hold onto sodium and water. Thus, the moment your insulin levels drop, your kidneys will release sodium and water. That is why it's so essential that you drink water and remain hydrated all the time. You should drink at least half of your body weight in ounces of water each day, as I mentioned before. Okay, salt. Now, 500 milligrams, that's 5 grams of sodium, which equals 12 grams of salt per day to maintain adequate balance. Pink Himalayan salt is excellent. Ditch the white stuff because some of it has aluminum in it and it's anti-caking agents, not good. As mentioned before, your kidneys release sodium, therefore increase your salt intake. It is very, very important. Magnesium. Also, our soil is depleted of magnesium. So men need 400 milligrams per day and women 310 milligrams per day. So you also get the slow release magnesium. That is the best one, the slow mag. Use that one. And then constipation, no problem. Here's what you need to do. Most people who experience constipation want to blame it on a lack of fiber. However, if you follow a balanced keto diet, that is not the case. More often than not, it is due to a lack of sodium and not enough fluids. To be sure to consume at least 5 grams of sodium, which equals 12 grams of salt per day to maintain an adequate balance. So shake it up and up your salt intake. Pink Himalayan salt is excellent. Don't forget to drink water. If you are currently struggling with bloating, gas, or IBS, then hang in there. Many people experience significant improvements quickly. And also, there are some foods, carb foods that are good to go on the keto diet. However, for some people, it causes bloating. Like, for example, if I eat cabbage, I get bloating. It's awful. Like, I have to wear this big t-shirt because it's just, I think most of us have, experienced bloating, and you have to see if it's maybe some of the carbs you eat. That could also be a problem. You see, everyone is unique. Nobody is the same. So, but like if I eat sauerkraut, I have absolutely no problem. So you'll just have to check out for those foods. Yeah, maybe I should just post the video in the group to see what foods bloat. It's very interesting. And then you don't feel so, ugh. So get rid of all the toxic food. Now, let's be honest here. If I want to be healthy and there's a big bad chocolate in the pantry, well, let's say it will start talking to me. Something in the line of just a little one. It won't be so bad, will it? Well, let's not even go there, right? Get rid of all the bad stuff in your kitchen. Then simply put, there is no excuse. And people say, oh, but I've got children. Get your kids off that junk, anyways. I mean, really, there are awesome alternatives, and kids can tolerate more carbs than older people can. But if it's not there, it won't be a temptation, right? And eat, if you have a meal, eat till satiety, then you'll be fine. So here are the 10 rules of my Uber diet. So this is a high fat, moderate protein, and low carb diet. So number 2, no sugar. Cold turkey is your key. However, if you want to transition slowly, then xylitol or stevia will be best. No artificial sweeteners. Um, you also get erythritol, which is awesome. And then also xylitol. I don't use xylitol anymore because of Katya, my dog. Dogs, pets, they can die if they eat xylitol. So I'm just taking the temptation away that if something falls, so she won't be able to eat it. Stevia can be very, very sweet. So in my experience, erythritol is the best. Like if I make, let's say, a cheesecake. Now, I don't do that every week. Like, say, someone comes to visit or whatnot, but it's all low carb, then I will use erythritol. And it's 70% the sweetness of sugar, but best just avoid it. And artificial sweetness, especially like aspartame, it's carcinogenic. So just stay away from the artificial sweetness. Number 3, always choose real food. If there are no labels, it's perfect. And if there are labels, read them carefully and check for any hidden nasty ingredients. In the VIP section, I'm going to cover the food labels, and we're just going to go through a few things and how to do it exactly. Number 4, no grains. Number 5, enjoy fat. The right fat is critical. Mostly mono and saturated fats. This will fuel your fat burning. So when in doubt, eat less carbs, eat more fat. Salt, 500 milligrams, so that's like 12 grams of salt per day. Number 9, eggs are healthy, eat them. 10, enjoy the taste, variety, and satiety. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Skipping a meal is not the end of the world. Now, that is basically a ketogenic diet. You see, it's not so difficult. And I think you can see that now. It will help you to reverse your diabetes. Right. So I'm going to get out of here and get back to this one. There we go. Right, I hope you enjoyed that. So, as I mentioned, for the last 9 years, I did a keto diet for weight loss. And then I transitioned to helping people with type 2 diabetes. I still do the weight loss. So, anyways, I hope that you have a clear idea of what you're letting yourself in for, right? So, now I just want to quickly I just need to share the screen over here. Oops, share again. Share screen, the window, and then just get this presentation in. Share, right. You must see my son. He's so quick with this stuff, and I'm just like, where's the button? Where's this? Where's that? So I'm just going to do it full screen. and open the presentation. So yeah. Okay, so this is out of my book, 51 Delicious Keto Recipes, Chicken Recipes. Now, I chose chicken because all of us, not everyone has the budget to eat a steak, beef every day, and prices have been going up recently. I don't know if you guys noticed. So chicken is always, we do at least, I think, 2 meals a week chicken. I also like to incorporate fish. In the weekends, we do barbecues. So, just obviously you want to shake it up a little bit. Chicken is so versatile, and that's why I decided to do the chicken book. And remember, it's under the guide section. It's free for you. I would love for you to download and just give me some feedback on that. So, here are just a few of look at this delicious salad. And this is like chicken fried with some bacon bits over there. And these are buffalo wings. And this sauce, I've also got the recipe there. Oof, it's delicious. And then this is a casserole with broccoli, tacos, delicious. This is chicken livers. This is one in a pot. Also, it's so easy. You can also do these recipes in a slow cooker. These are chicken breasts. You can use these in a salad, so it's very versatile. Obviously, we know chicken can be a little dry, so a bit of mayonnaise on top. I've also got a great, delicious keto mayonnaise. This is chicken breast with the feta and spinach. My husband actually likes that one. This is a raspberry salad. Lily always picks the raspberries. This is the chicken broccoli soup. And then this is a normal chicken soup. This was, I think, the puttanesca. It's also delicious. And what do you call these things? I can't remember the English name, actually. You know what? You can't see the presentation. Oh, my goodness. Let me stop this. Oh, no, you're looking at me the whole time. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me fix this. Oh, okay. I know what I did wrong. You should see it now coming up. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to move back quickly. I'm so embarrassed now. Sorry, guys. Ay, ay, ay. All right. So what I'll do is I'll just zap through them again. Sorry. Right. So salad, stir fry, buffalo wings, casserole, tacos, chicken liver in a pot, the chicken breasts, feta and spinach. This is a raspberry and chicken salad. It sounds weird, but it's good. This is a broccoli and chicken soup. This is a normal soup. Puttanesca. What do you call these things? I can't remember now. Pizza. And then this is the chicken aioli with the shuffles. And this was a curry. Yep, curry. This was, just like on a plate, if you want to serve a few things, kebabs, like a snack pack, if you've got guests over, the meatballs and such. And this is also, I think this is the Durban curry I did, yeah. And this is the Thai curry. This is, I think this is the paprikash with a lot of paprika, yeah. And this. I don't think this picture turned out too good, but the sauce was good. Okay, this is also casserole with basil, and this is another casserole with what do you call it? Broccoli and baby marrows or zucchini. I think you call it zucchini. Ooh, this Evo thingy, it's awesome. And this is stuffed with green peppers and red peppers. Right, and this one was also casserole, stir fry, casserole. This one is nice. It's like with artichokes and spinach and a lot of cheese. Yeah, these are bites with coconut, and then I put on a sauce at the top. And this is my what do you call it? Where's my brain at today, guys? This is like a liver pate. Anyways, yeah, so a lovely casserole over there. This is a chicken Millionaire sauce. Oof, this is so good. You have to try this one. I should actually make it this weekend. This is coq au vin. And this one is like with the chicken breast and a piece of smoked meat. And then it's like a garlicky, I think it was a Parmesan sauce with the salad. So you see, delicious food, guys, delicious. These are giblets. I tried them actually for the first time. This is chicken adobo. I don't know if you say that like that, but oof, this just tickles your taste buds. And this one was funny because this is crack chicken. When I had this ready for the photos, I just went inside to get my camera and stuff. When I came back, Katja was busy eating it. I was not impressed, but anyways, she just looked at me and she knew she had done something wrong. So, yeah, that was quite a funny story. But we got the photo eventually, so didn't go too bad. These are gizzards, or are they the giblets? And this is like the chimichurri. It's also good. Chimichurri is I think, an Argentinian thing. So this is also kebabs. You can just throw it on, like if you have guests over. This is chicken harissa. It's like a Moroccan dish, very spicy, but so good. This is another curry, the meatballs. Oof, and this, like, to brine a chicken, I never knew it existed. But it's called dry brining. You can do this you dry brine the chicken. And in the book, you will see exactly how I do it. You just like go in with your spoon, and then you get the skin off the chicken, but obviously you don't take it off. And then you put this salt and olive oil. You can also add thyme or whatever you want. And then you put it under the skin. Then you leave it like that for 2 days in the fridge, and it kind of like dries out. If you put this on a rotisserie, even in the oven, that skin is to die for. It is so, so crispy and delicious. I want to eat this now. Anyways, and this is a chicken broth. Chicken broth is also very good for you, if anti-aging and so on. Right. So please go get the book. It's free. Hope you enjoy it. And let me just get back onto this screen over here. Oops, there we are. Sometimes it's difficult with these buttons because you kind of like you remove yourself or stuff. Trust me, it has gotten way better. The technology with COVID, we had to learn how to deal with these things. But like Aiden is very good with it because he got his classes, so he could show me a little bit. But so, yeah, this isn't Zoom, this is StreamYard, because it has to stream into Facebook and into YouTube. Right, guys. So that is nutritional ketosis. So as you can see, it's fun. It's not so bad. It's easy. So for the guys who are on VIP, head on over there. I'll be there in half an hour. We will discuss. I'll give you a tour of my Uber diet, my Uber keto diet. Just show you how it works, how you work out your ratios. So like, say for example, you put in your all your details, right? So you press the button, you get a meal plan, and then say you lose 5 kgs. Then you go back into your information and you will get another meal plan. So it changes. If you start to exercise, for example, so then it also changes. So as you move and progress, your meal plans will change. So, and what's also awesome is I've got additional food lists. So say, for example, one evening it's, let's say zucchini, and you just can't stand zucchini. Then there's a swap out list. So you will know, okay, I can actually eat kale. Ugh, but who wants to eat kale? Ugh, they should, like, kale is nasty. Anyways, then you can use spinach, asparagus, whatever you want on the list, and it will tell you exactly how many grams. So it's so easy for people because, I mean, honestly, if you take 100 people and if you have to cater for everyone, you'll have 100 different meal plans, because a lot of people also, they don't want to eat eggs, or they don't eat chia seeds, or they don't like pork, or they don't like chicken. So everyone is unique, And that's why this meal plan is awesome, because you can change out. And then later on, I also give you the ability, like if you've done it for 3 months and you know exactly what you like, then you can create your own meal plan. So it's so versatile, it's so easy to use, and you won't have to sit there and scratch and like be, oh, how much is this? How much do I need to eat now? Everything is taken care of. All you need to do is make the food, and it's not hours in front of the stove. And another thing, nutritional ketosis is for everyone. And I tell you, the food is so good. I don't cook different meals for my kids. I don't. Like, we eat the same. They will maybe have more strawberries or more carbs, as the day, because they're more energetic. Their tolerance is so much higher. But we focus on real foods. So yes, don't even tell them it's nutritional keto. Just cook it and let them eat, because the food is delicious. I mean, obviously, in most cases, you will see you start focusing more on the protein to make that taste good, and then like the carbs start to complement. But you will see. And yeah, I know you will enjoy it. But join me in the VIP. I'm blabbering on again. But thank you for joining, and go get your books. Okay, guys, see you in VIP.